Hey, good morning, y'all. I'm back. So today is a heat wave and it's been really cold and windy and raining and foggy in New Jersey, and this weekend it's supposed to be pretty hot. Thankfully we're gonna be near water, like a lake, and a river, and we should be in the shade. So we're gonna try to make the best of it. Definitely wearing a lot of bug spray. I drove all the way up to my dad's house to get my kayak. I mismeasured and I was off by like about a foot. So my kayak does not fit. I don't have the proper racks for it. When I bought the kayak, it was, I bought it a while ago and I had a different car, and there was a few different things that went into that. So a different day, maybe. I could have, driven with the kayak all the way in the back of my car, had my passenger seat down, but then my boyfriend would have had to drive his own car too, and I would have had to put like a flag on my kayak, and my kayak would have been like hitting and shaking out the back of the car for probably close to 2 hours of driving, and some of it was on the parkway, so I did not feel comfortable doing that. I just felt like with my luck that was a recipe for disaster for things to go wrong. So we're definitely gonna go camping, and I got all the marshmallows and everything else, and I'm gonna try out one of the lakes and go swimming in one of the lakes over there in the Pine Barrens. So I think that'd be really cool too. So welcome to my journey. So I think we're on plan F now. This heat wave is no joke. I think the feels like temperature is 99 degrees right now. So we are not gonna go camping. We can't get a refund on the site, so I think we're still gonna check it out. Especially since we can't kayak and do something in the water. Hiking is not really a good idea today, unless we want to carry, a lot of water on us, which is not really ideal either. So I think we're gonna check out the lake beach, check out the camping site that could have been, and we'll reschedule for a different weekend. Also, there's a forest fire that's 99 or 90% contained, so the air quality is probably pretty bad too, near the area. Hey y'all, I'm back. So where I last left off with Wharton State Forest, a lot of things didn't work out. There was a major heat wave, the AC broke in my car, the kayak did not fit in my car. Someone took our camp spot. So I did make it to Addison Lake Recreation Area. I'll post a picture of me there. I got to go swimming in the lake. It was absolutely beautiful. I absolutely loved it. I'm definitely gonna go back. But today I am in Wharton State Forest again, and I'm gonna start out in Batso Village. I'm gonna be doing the 1808 trail. I am doing a college credit course with Stockton University. I'm just doing it for fun and my own personal learning and experience. It costs about $60, but I did this exact or a similar course this past winter at Stockton, physically on campus. I took like a introduction to fungi, the Petona Trail class, which is a through hike I really want to do. And let's see, I took raptors, so I got to see actual red hawks and owls up in person, got to learn all about them. And I think I took like I think it was the formations of the Pine Barrens course, and it went from all the way from like the beginning of like, when Earth was created, to, the actual creation of the Pine Barrens, which is really cool. So today I'm doing more activity stuff than actual learning. Well, I'm gonna be learning today, but I'm going on the 1808 trail, which is a trail I've always really, really wanted to do, and I'm doing it paddling in the pines, so it'll be fun. And today I finally got contacts. I was cleared to wear contacts, so I finally can wear sunglasses and be comfortable. If I sound a little stuffy, I apologize. I have a sinus infection, but come join me today.
Red-tailed hawk, they have a red tail, hence their name. However, they don't get that red tail for the first couple of years of their life. So that is one thing where Allie was saying it can be a little bit difficult telling the juvenile from. What's going on again?
makes its way up into southern Asia. And what you see just on the north side, the red and then the white, that's the Himalayas being developed.
Hopefully able to go back after and get released. With all this footage, you can kind of see that.
I can see this is better than the one.
The first tall person will take the ones that are higher. Water table's high, he's all muffin. Yeah. At the campground, you can sit at the picnic table or go across the street to Crowley's Landing. Sit by the river. Sit by the river and then come back across the street, pick up the trail at the other end, and then.
So we got telephone poles. We spend further than this. Are you?
So, hey guys, I finished the Atsion Way hike. I took some videos. It was mostly a tour, and I didn't think it was appropriate to, videotape the whole tour and the woman talking. She had to pay for it, and it probably took away the experience. And other people were having private conversations that I didn't know. I'm the only person I know on this whole entire, expedition today. So I just didn't videotape too much. I took mostly pictures. I think it was 4.5 miles long. I gotta check my Strava and see what the elevation gain was, but I have to drive to Stockton University just to drive back here because I'm doing the paddling of the pines on the Batso. But today I actually did more than just the 1808 trail. We did the Sand and Water Trail and part of the Batona, so that was pretty cool. I didn't know that we were gonna do that. So I'm gonna go stuff my face with some food and cool off a little bit, and then drive about 25-30 minutes to Stockton University. All right.
Longer than that, they'll tell you that back in the 1950s, 1960s, it was all about the beaches. All the fields that you see that are blueberries.
Out on the water. It's beautiful.
But I don't see them too much outside the pine barrens. And we also have some purple pickerel weed here, which is really important for pollinators.
So I finally got a second to catch my breath and get some more water. Oh, I had such an amazing day today. On the kayak, it was kind of hard to take videos. Again, I took a tour. People have to pay to do the tour. I didn't want to videotape her talking the whole entire time. I just didn't think it was appropriate. Also, again, I'm with strangers who don't know that I was videotaping, so I didn't want to get their faces or their conversations in there. I did take some videos and take some pictures. I'm on my way back home to swap cars. My dad has my car for the day that just got the air conditioning fixed, and I'm in his car, and I love it so much more than mine. So for the I gotta rewind though. On the way from the hike, I had to drive all the way to Stockton College to take the bus to Batso River to do the kayak. And I drove all the way to Stockton, and I was looking for Kramer Hall, and then just to realize that Kramer Hall is not on the main campus, it's in Hamilton. So I rushed all the way from there, made it by like 10-15 minutes. So in reality, it was fine. But I got to talk to more people, you know, just more like-minded environmentalists, and it was just really nice to see everyone was just as passionate about the Pine Barrens as I am. And every time I take one of these courses or I learn more about the Pine Barrens, it's like it becomes more and more of a fascinating place. And it took a lot of grassroots to protect it. I didn't realize that Jimmy Carter was like a big part of protecting the Pine Barrens, and like literally if he wasn't around, it probably all would have been like jet centers or like developments and stuff. And the reason why it's not considered a national park was because there was already development and agriculture there. So it's the first preserve, I think, in the national park system or Department of Interior. So it is federally protected, but it's not a national park or can't be a national recreation area. So but the 1808 trail was really cool. It's actually, well, it actually used to be a road back in the 1700s, and it's just called 1808 because the map that made, you know, that showed the road was made in 1808, and that's literally why it's only called the 1808 trail. But it's through a cedar swamp. There are no mosquitoes. And you would think like, oh, swamp in the middle of the summer, no mosquitoes. I don't know if it's because like the cedar, you know, repels it, or the water is like kind of acidic in the Pine Barrens. The Pine Barrens sit on top of an aquifer, and there are some springs that pop through, like in, you know, create lakes and streams and whatnot. So the water's kind of acidic. It has a lot of like clay and marl in it. So when you come out of the water, your skin is going to feel really soft because you're literally kind of getting exfoliated as you're in the water. It's clean though. So it's like Florida where the water is dark and black, and it's not because it's polluted. It just, the cedar dyes the water, like how tea bags would dye tea. Or sorry, how the tea bags would dye. I can't talk today. How the tea bags would dye hot water. So yeah, I did that hike, and I didn't know that we were going to do 2 other trails. We did part of the Batona Trail, which is, you know, which is really cool. I didn't expect that, so it's another section that I've done now. And we also did the Sand and Water Trail, so that was cool. On the Batso River, we just basically did a part of it that jets out, and that's mostly on like a lake. And I just learned a lot about the Batso village. It was really hard for me to pay attention though, because every time I stopped paddling, that's when the horseflies would come. So I felt like every time the tour guide was like talking, I was like, you know, steering myself away, just trying to move. But I saw my very first carnivorous plant ever in person. I've only ever seen pictures of them, or I've seen them at like people's houses, but that was my first time seeing one in the wild. And there's only 3 carnivorous plants in New Jersey, and I got to see one of them. And I already forgot the name of it, but it's the one that's like a tube. It's not one that opens and like catches the fly has to fly in, but it's really cool because it helps. There's its own little ecosystem inside the tube of that plant, because it doesn't kill everything that's in there. So other like organisms will grow inside it, like mushrooms and fungi, you know, all of that. I'm trying to think of anything else, but yeah, it was an overall really amazing day. And if anyone is local, or not even local, if you have any interest in the Pine Barrens, it's really cool to come out here. With all my driving and turning around, I did drive past the pygmy forest, and there's only 2 pine pygmy forests in the whole entire world, and one of them is in New Jersey and the other one's in New York. New York did not get the chance to preserve it as much as we did, and they only have 200 acres preserved on Long Island, whereas the New Jersey Pine Barrens altogether is 1.1 million acres. So that's really cool. But yeah, follow me in my next adventures, and we'll see what state park I go to next. I want to do a big shout out to Pinelands Adventures. They were the ones who did the kayak tour, and the Outdoor Club of South Jersey, sorry, I had to look at the business card. They were the ones who did the 1808 trail tour as well. Both were amazing. 10 out of 10, recommend them. But, oh, and another cool thing that they talked about were there are eels that come up from the ocean, that go up to estuaries and rivers, and they can actually, and I've heard about this, and I just thought this was only happening in like foreign countries. I didn't realize it happened in New Jersey too. But they'll actually like wiggle and bounce across the road to a different stream or different body of water, which I think is so wild. But yeah, very next adventure. See you soon.